Welcome to the Utility Insider Bonus Podcast, which is a podcast for utility professionals dedicated to navigating the ever-changing energy landscape for their organizations and customers. I'm Brian Olsen, Questline Digital's technical engineer. And over the next few minutes, we're diving into the current trends and issues in the utility space. So let's get started. So today we're going to talk about energy storage, and let's just look at this scenario to begin with. You have customers, might have a mid-sized business, maybe some grocery stores, boutique hotel, light manufacturing plant. They love that you provide them consistent power, but they may not love the concept of a demand charge. And energy storage in the past used to feel like it was something for, giant mega corporations like Walmart and Google and Apple. The difference today is that technology has shrunk, costs have plummeted, and the incentives are starting to get really, really good and almost impossible to ignore. So we're going to talk about why energy storage is possibly the single most valuable asset you can bring to your business this year. We're not just talking about saving energy on your bills, having your customers save money on their bills. We'll cover that too. But we're going to talk about how a battery sitting in your parking lot can help you win customers and build some loyalty. Go back 3 years. Batteries were a custom engineered project, really expensive, lots and lots of qualifications to go through. Today, it's a product of the Amazon containerized revolution. You can order a 500 kW system. They drive up in a truck, looks like a big shipping container. They drop it off. You wire it into your switchgear, and you're good to go. There's really not a lot involved, and the prices are much, much more attractive. Added to this is the chemistry of the batteries is much safer. We've moved away from volatile chemicals to lithium iron phosphate, and now even sodium. This makes your fire marshal a lot happier, make your insurance company happier, and it lasts twice as long in most cases. And in the case of sodium, the new kid on the block, it's more readily available, and it can be cheaper in exchange for taking up just a little bit more space because it's not quite as efficient as holding energy per unit of space. But the most exciting development isn't just battery chemistry. It's thermal storage. Think about this. If a customer runs a grocery store or a cold storage warehouse, refrigeration is 60% of their bill. These new thermal batteries, which is kind of an oxymoron because it's storing cold, allows them to freeze a saltwater solution at night when the power is cheap or even free, and then use that ice to cool the cases throughout the day. No, they're literally storing cold. It's simple, durable, slashes that portion of their peak demand, which benefits you as a utility because you don't have to build more capacity. It's simple. It helps them tolerate brown and blackouts. And it's even useful during the day because somebody may leave the freezer door open, or they may have to move a lot of stuff in and out during an inventory. And that reduces temperature fluctuation and product degradation. But let's move now to the big point, that's money. In industry, we call this value stacking because smart people don't ever buy a battery for just one reason. You buy it for three. The first layer is obvious, and it's something that's being utilized countrywide now. It's peak shaving. For each customer, there's that 15-minute window in July when all the AC units kick on and the utility serves them up with a $5,000 demand charge. Well, with an energy storage system, battery could predict that spike and discharge it instantly. It chops off the top of the mountain and makes it a plateau. We've seen manufacturing plants in Ohio cut their monthly bills by much as 20% just by doing this. Now, the second layer is arbitrage. As a utility, you probably have higher time of use rates for good reason. Power might cost 5 cents at 3 a.m., 40 cents at 5 p.m. And to get a handle on peak demand to avoid adding capacity. Battery allows you to buy low, sell high automatically. It's like adding inventory at a discount every single night. Now, for the utility that's interested in using battery for their needs, rapid capacity growth markets in the battery arena, the buy low, sell high strategy are somewhat a little bit less effective because it's becoming so popular. So if you are going to do it for that specific purpose, you do need to have an AI-driven strategy to maximize your profitability. Now, the third layer is my favorite. It's the VPP check. You're probably a little desperate for flexibility. Implement a virtual power plant program. Pay the customers a quarterly fee just for the right to borrow a little bit of their battery's power during a grid emergency. They get paid to be backup for the grid, and they can call themselves prosumers, producers and consumers. It's kind of a around the block kind of reputation thing. You'll understand. But that's the operational stuff. We said we'd talk about your customers. How does that gray box in your parking lot improve your brand? A great example would be Sinclair Hotel in Fort Worth, Texas. They took their smelly diesel generators and put in a sleek lithium-ion battery system. Now, a storm hits, as it usually does in Texas. Power goes out to the city. The hotel down the street still has a loud generator kicking on, vibrates the walls, spewing fumes through the patio. But the Sinclair lights just blink and stay on. It's silent and it's clean, but now you've no longer have just backup power. This is resilience as a service. You're selling the guarantee of comfort. Another example, take EV charging. You're a retailer. You know that EV drivers are a coveted demographic. They stay longer and spend more. But installing fast chargers is a nightmare for your electric bills because of those demand spikes. But if you pair those chargers with a battery, the battery acts as a buffer. You can offer high-speed charging to attract customers without wrecking utility bills. And we've seen retail chains start to tie these things into loyalty programs. Are you a gold member? Oh, you get reserved discounted charging. The battery makes it more financially viable. There's another angle that we'd like to consider too. It's visible sustainability. Customers today are smart. They know the difference between a press release and real action. An example here is a logistics center in California called Project Lightyear by United Therapeutics. Has a massive net zero warehouse. They even have a dashboard in the lobby showing real-time data that says currently running on 100% stored solar energy. For a mid-sized business, this could be a powerful marketing tool. If you're a supplier, that dashboard helps your B2B clients meet their carbon goals, and you become a preferred vendor because you make them look good. So how do we get on board? Well, here's a 3-step plan for you and your customers. First of all, get your own data as a utility. Look at your peak demand situation, factor in all the relevant VPPs, curtailment, existing storage, then calculate the bridge amount necessary to avoid the construction of new power plants. Then work with a storage developer. They'll run simulations for you 24 hours and allow you to get data for payback and cost avoidance and how much to get, when to use it, etc. Then, since you don't want to spend a lot of money on this, look at things called energy as a service. Acquire energy storage by leveraging a mix of competitive solicitations, power purchasing agreements, engineering, procurement, construction stuff. Tailor it to specific reliability and cost savings goals. The key strategies here is to include partnering with developers for turnkey solutions to minimize risk or invest directly in utility-owned projects for rate-based assets. This is incredibly crucial. You don't have to spend any money up front. Ask those energy service companies if they offer energy as a service contract. They install the battery for free. You split the savings, zero cost to your capital budget. Now, here's the important part where you and the customer get involved. Audit your critical load. In your case, are there things that you need to have on in an emergency? But here's where you invite your customers to your investigation. Ask them what needs to stay on during an outage. Whole factory, just the servers, safety lighting? See what their needs are for sizing a system to suit their own return on investment, and then offer resources to facilitate these behind the meter investments that can take a lot of load off of the grid, making it more robust and resistant to brown and blackouts. If there is a capital situation, let them know what you've learned so far about energy and service contracts. They can install the battery for free, split the savings, zero risk. So here's the bottom line. 2026, energy storage isn't just a backup plan. It's an incremental and implemented business strategy. It protects your margins from rising rates, insulates your operations from weather, and it signals to your customers that you're reliable, modern, and here to stay. The grid's changing. Don't just pay for it, profit from it. We hope you found this information both useful and informative. We'll be back again next quarter after the Q2 Powering Engagement podcast event, Smarter Targeting and Optimization. Our very own Questline Digital's host, Rebecca Zarobsky, and her guests will explore how utilities can use segmentation, personalization, and focused testing to deliver more relevant, effective customer communications. Until then, thanks for tuning in. I'm Brian Olsen.